Hi, Capricorn. This is your home light security reading for the month of May. And excuse me. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what was being said as well as with the cough. Hold on. I'm getting that you guys are feeling fairly secure, but you are feeling weighed down in one form. You're also kind of in your own feels, and I don't mean just because of like Mercury retrograde. I mean on a form of with your astrology chart as well, because it's more of in your personal, more private relationships with yourself as well as with others, and relationships, that more private area of those relationships. And Spirit is asking for some of you, how do you truly feel? How do you truly feel about yourself or the relationships, as well as the security? And how much of it, and I think this part is with the Mercury retrograde, because my ear is getting funky right now. How much of it is holding on to heavy? And what I mean by that is the lower vibrations of the heavy, the bitterness, the blame, the insecurity, the fear, the worry, the doubt, the anxiety. For some of you, how much of that are you holding on to? Because that's technically nothing more than a fear. That's like a judgment in a form, which is also not just lowering the vibration, but it's changing the action or affecting the action of the manifestation. So they're saying, just stop. I know I say that so easily, like it's the easiest thing to do. But they're saying the more you're in your head in a negative way, with the insecurity, the fear, the anxiety, the bitterness, the blame, the coulda, shoulda, woulda, the ego, the pride. That's nothing more than self-judgment. And while you're more or less feeling secure, stop doing that, because it just lowers the vibration. It lowers the manifestation, the law of attraction. It lowers your own self-judgment. So stop it. That's nothing more really than Mercury retrograde, all of the energy that's going on and everything else. And it's just ego, stubborn inflexibility, getting confused with some fear. So stop it, for whoever that's for. They're saying for some of you too, that has to do with the throat chakra and actually being able to speak with authority, or comfortability with speaking with authority and overcoming that. I don't necessarily feel like it's bad energy. I feel like we're stuck in a big static amount of energy. And what I mean by that is it feels like the energy's been so big and so heavy. Not heavy, just big and magnetic. And so I feel like it's static energy, like when you, in the winter or whatever, when you touch something you get the zap. I feel like there's so much energy everywhere, you're getting zapped. Not just you, but everybody. But it's not really clearing. It's not really moving. And what it's doing is it's making us get in our head, get in our head too much. And then it's messing up our creativity. So just stop being in your head as much in negative ways. Connect more with the higher vibration and allow the shine to come through. Are we done with that? Are we done with that? They're saying something's going on with the true feelings, the real self, the true self. Whether it's you're coming into it, you're learning more about it, you're learning to speak with authority or come into it. There's something here going on that you're not fully tapping into on the true real self. You're not fully getting the big memo, the big picture. There's a piece that's missing, or you're in denial or something about it. So, I mean, all I can tell you on that level is search your soul, be open with yourself, be willing to change. Willing not to change as much as try new things. Stop trying to push to receive, Capricorn. They are telling you to slow down because you might be empowering the energy, which will force you to slow down. But I feel like there's a part of yourself that's still hiding or not truly showing or admitting yourself. And it's been the same deck all morning. Let's see. I'm going to get into the cards, and then I'll get into the astrology for the month. What does Capricorn need to hear for the month of May? Okay. Can you lift the vibration? Don't tell me no. Okay, then can you lift it in my cards? No. I'm sorry, it's just been funny that way. Okay. Well, I want to explain that. All right. Well, that explains part of what they were talking about. You're getting sorrow. I really feel like too much of you're being hard on yourself. You're being hard on yourself. You're trying too hard. You're trying to push too hard. You're looking back at the past. You're evaluating too much. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. What if I did this? I could have done that. Suppressed anger is what I just heard. This card is also fields of perception and realization. So I really feel like this card kind of gloomy, but I feel like this card is 12th house energy. It may have to do with Mercury retrograde. It may have to do with Jupiter moving. We'll look when we get into the astrology a little bit more. But I feel like it's 12th house, inflexibility, but like not on purpose inflexibility, like in denial flexibility, like comfort zone flexibility, grief, sorrow, shame, blame, insecurity. They just said, for some of you, no, it's the heavy, holding on to too much, trying to be in control of too much, trying to be responsible for everything and everybody, and just being worn out, and it's taking from your creativity. Like you need a break, you need a time out. I don't mean like get a time out in a bad way, but like I got a girlfriend who's Cancer. She's about to go on another vacation, but not Cancer, Capricorn. And what I'm getting is like you need to take a beat. You need to take a little vacation, even if it's just to the bathtub and close the door with some candles. You need some you time. Stop holding down all the grief, sorrow, shame, blame, insecurities where you're talking to yourself. I coulda, shoulda, woulda. The head supernatural highway between the shoulders, the head, and the heart, where the inflexibility takes place because you can't forgive or accept or let go. Vampire syndrome is what I just heard for some of you. Just in your head, overly analyzing, overly thinking. I coulda, shoulda, woulda. If I did it that way, well, what if? No, take a beat, step back. Because the next card is the Queen of Wands. We don't know it, and of one back into your back into your inner your power, your in discovery of your into your independence. I mean, come on, just look at the picture. That bitch is all up on the throne, all comfortable. Just stop holding on to this vibration because it's keeping you from this one. Step away from it. Take a beat. What else does Capricorn here? What else does Capricorn near? Confidence is what I just heard for somebody. Four of Cups. This is luxury in this deck. This is, you know, getting past the restlessness. Getting past the restlessness. This is being bored with what you're doing. Just that's what I get. It's just from this card. This card gives you the feeling like there's so much there, but what I really get is just I'm watering down the crap to get by to the next day. That's really what I'm feeling in this card. Even though it looks like it's pretty, it looks like it's ready to overflow with this luxury, but it feels like it feels, you know what it feels to me, this card. I've never felt this, I've never said this before on this deck for this card, but what I'm feeling is fake. Yeah, I have everything. I have this, I have that, I have this, I can do that, but I'm just not fucking satisfied. I have. That's what I'm feeling like that is. I feel like, yeah, it's just you need a flipping break, man. Yeah, Princess of Swords, just cut through that shit. You need to cut through that shit, get rid of it, get back to your Hierophant, just like I said in the beginning. It's just you trying to hold on to too much, being too responsible. Let it go. Still, again, it's the Knight of Swords, restlessness. Hold on, I got another deck that's talking. Help Capricorn counteract. Find some laughter. Find some fun. Get into things that make you lighter. Really, that's what it is. You need to get into things that make you feel lighter. Yeah, now I'm feeling all like I'm under a ton of like lights. Get a new vision. That's all you got to do. Make yourself lighter and get a new vision. Allow you to see it through different eyes. And be gentle with yourself. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong here. It's just telling you, stop beating up on yourself. Stop trying to take responsibility for everything and everyone and every... It's time for a beat. It's time for some fun, some inner child, some inner laughter. That's pretty much it. Now, listen. As I get into the astrology, I'm going to give you the rundown of what's going on for the month. Mercury has already gone retrograde. It will not stay in Gemini, though. It will be moving back into Taurus. We'll look at where that is for you in a minute. Jupiter is already in Aries, and I believe Jupiter is what's giving it all that stagnant energy or making it back build, so it feels like it's just building. Not just the eclipse. I feel like it itself is doing a lot of it. You have the eclipse that's taking place on the 16th. Then on the 20th, the sun moves into Gemini. On the 22nd, Mercury retrogrades back into Taurus, which I will look at. On the 24th, this is the day that I feel like it's important, because this is the day Mars moves out of Pisces and moves into Aries. It's ruling sign. So this is where power starts to come back, the movement. I don't even feel like it's going to be an ebb and flow. I feel like it's going to be more like stagnant, overcoming, power, over-empowering, stagnant. It's kind of what I feel like the energy is going to be doing around the 24th. Like all of a sudden just lit. Now. On the 28th, you have Venus, which is moving into Taurus. So you have both your masculine and your feminine on the week of the 24th and the 28th, going into their ruling sign, bringing complete balance and strength. So that's going to be very powerful for you. Now, where are we? I always tell you, you're technically walking through wherever the sun is. So for you, hold on, what is my phone doing? No, stupid. Okay. I just said no. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what's funny is that you're hearing me say I just said no. My phone just went to the cleaner because this is where I have my astrology right here so that I can read it to you. But my phone went to the cleaner, so you guys might need to also. This, like I said, I got a girlfriend who's about to take one of her vacations, and it may just be the perfect time for, cleansing. My phone went to the cleaner. I mean, so you might need to sage, smudge, cleanse around you, do a toxic cleanse, help stir some stuff up in one form or another, clean it up. Just telling you. Now, in astrology, the sun is always the house that you're walking through. This is your 5th house. This is your creative house right now. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to explain your 5th house and your 6th house together because of the way the energy is moving. Your 5th house is your inner child, your inner creativity. So you may just be feeling like your inner child is just so slammed busy lately that it hasn't had any playtime, and it really needs it. Your creativity, your self-expression, your fun zone, your pursuit of pleasure is in need of pleasure. And it's important for your creativity, your balance. Well, the sun is here, illuminating whether you're getting it or not, and why you're getting it or not. What's either helping you achieve it or standing in the way of it. Same with your 6th house. Helping you get it and achieve it or not, and why. Now, you also have in your 5th house, this creative house. This is also where you have the North Node right now, telling you what you need to understand in order to move forward in this creative inner child, inner play, inner pursuit of pleasure, inner fun, enjoyment, what makes you tick, what makes you happy, and to be here breathing on this planet, what you want to do with yourself. Uranus is your independence, your individuality, uniqueness, freedom, helping you to come into a deeper reasoning behind that inner pursuit of pleasure. Find your independence, your individuality, uniquely show it to the world. But here's the thing. Like I said, the sun is showing you whether you're having the time to do it or not. It's about to move into your 6th house. And Mercury is in retrograde in your 6th house. Now, around the 20th to 24th, the sun and Mercury are going to do this. So they're going to switch houses. Your 6th house is your daily routines, the mundane. Everything that you do repetitively all the time that you overlook and don't realize how important it is. But this is where a lot of the manifestation comes from. And it's because it's repetitive, it's unconscious energies that you're doing on a daily basis. I tell people all the time, this isn't just the energy house for your food and your diet, as well as food and diet, like substance for the body, but this is the substance of the energy that the body and the aura is also consuming. The people, places, and things of energy that you are consuming. Mercury is in retrograde here in these daily routines. You know, you get up every day, you brush your teeth, you get up every day, you get yourself something to eat or your coffee or whatever, and then you're off and going. And then when you get off of work or whatever, what do you do next? You know, your daily routines can be simple as routines, but then what do you do after work? Some people spend all their extra free time working on a project that they care about. Some people, like sports people, usually practicing. Your artistic people are painting or getting into their music, makes you tick and stuff. What are you putting this time and energy into? Because these two houses kind of marinate. And are you having the time to put these energies into it? Or are the people, places, and things that you are consumed with, that you are part of, are they keeping you from doing these things that you want and need to do? Mercury retrograde is talking to you about whether you're getting the time to do it or not. The problem with Mercury retrograde is you get self-centered, you get only talking to yourself, and you kind of forget about the outer world because communication is not talking outwardly. And a lot of times it gets talking inwardly in negative ways to you. So are you in your head with the chatter too much to where it's actually becoming more self-sabotage? And it's actually blaming situations on these people, places, and things of energies that you consume that truly isn't true? Or is it bringing you just enough to the truth to acknowledge when it is supporting you or it is not? And if these people, places, and things are helping you support, you're being able to get back to your inner creative spark. That's what it really all comes down to, this retrograde and this sun at this time as it's moving through the sun, through this energy, especially right around the 20th. It will kind of give you a hint as it starts questioning this and they cross each other. Now, your 7th house is going to be throwing you off a little bit. This is your relationship zone. And this might be also why you're starting to feel, for those of you who are feeling like you're taking on too much and feel like you keep taking on more and you keep adding more heavy to your plate. Because your 7th house is Cancer. And Cancer normally is a mothering and nurturing house. Your relationships, you want to make sure are secure. You nurture them to make sure that they are safe and secure. The problem is, you have Lilith here. Now, Lilith a lot of times can be very egotistical, and egotistical can be good too, because it can be bringing enough to your attention unless it goes overboard and gets into the self-centered. But Lilith asks you normally, what do you burn for? What are your fire? What's your fire here for? What is your reasoning for being here? Well, see, in the 7th house is asking you, why do you have these relationships? What about these relationships are worth it? But the problem is, Lilith becomes submissive very often, more than independent in these relationships. So this is where you may start doubting your own self in the relationship and kind of wanting the people, places, and things that you consume of these relationships. You might be wanting their feedback more than trusting your own. This is where you need to be independent and show that in this relationship that you are secure to yourself. Not to the rest of the world, because like I said, you still got Mercury retrograde. So this is more about you than outwardly. This is about coming into a higher self-realization of yourself in these relationships and exactly what these relationships are about. Are they something that is actually you're more submissive in, and you're not really finding your power and you're giving it away more? Or are you, truly honest, balanced, joint resources, joint efforts, joint finances, balanced in these relationships or not? So it is a little bit of a struggle here because of Lilith being in this house for you. Now, the next one is your eclipse. Which takes place in the 11th house. Now, this is the outer world. It is also those groups, memberships, your friends, your work friends, the outer world. And its goals, dreams, and ambitions, are they being met? Or is there no time for them? Is the people that are in these groups, memberships, friends, work friends, do they support your growth, your dreams, your ambitions being located, your spark, your soulfulness coming into that self-identity, bringing it out into the world, or not? The eclipse is showing you, are these people really here for you? Are these memberships really the right ones to support you, to really be in alignment with? Or are they maybe taking from you? Do you feel secure with these people or not? Or are you submissive with them and going to find out that you shouldn't have been? It's illuminating that, and it's showing you the next 6 months of not just the relationships, but like I said, it's the outer world, work friends, commitments, commitments within the community, the memberships that you keep, and so forth like that. So it's maybe in here up close and personal, but it's most likely not in the home type of relationship as up close and personal. However, if you've been in denial, it may have made it to the home to show you just how much you need to see it. And I say it that way because for one, eclipses take 6 months. For you, this is the outer world, but this is also Scorpio energy, which is all about transformation, death, and rebirth. And this is, what are you letting go of? What are you creating new? What are you willing to transform and bloom into something new? But the South Node is here. So it's going, where do you keep making the same, not quite getting over the hump? Not quite getting you might be doing things good, and you might be, bringing the goals, the dreams, and the ambitions to you. But maybe if you tried something a little bit different, that windfall of manifestation might get 3 times much more energy. Because something, South Node being here, is saying something isn't working quite right. Something needs to change. So there needs to be some kind of a new circulation taking place. Maybe it's between the rules, walls, boundaries. Maybe it's new memberships. Maybe it's new alliances. I don't know. But it's showing itself in ways of how to bring those goals, dreams, and ambitions into fruition, and showing you where something is missing and how to make it better. Now, your first house still has Pluto in it. We've been talking about this for a long time. You still have like a year and a half of energy where Pluto is trying to go, hey, this is your self-realization. These are the things about yourself that you're avoiding, that you're not acknowledging, that you need to change, because Pluto is death, decay, and destruction. There's more spirit in here than the spirit you are showing yourself. There's so much more of oomph, power, and fire, and soulful in here than you're showing yourself. There's still pieces that are hidden, and because of it, it's also a part of how you view yourself, how the world views you, as well as how you view the world itself. So it's a perception of yourself, your character, your physical body, your idea, your image of yourself as well as the world. There's something here that's trying to get you, again, just up that next step. Like, we just keep pushing you, but there's just something that you're still not grabbing hold of. When you get into your second house, you still have Saturn here, which is the rules, laws, and boundaries. But this is speaking about your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, giving yourself the proper self-love, respect, liberation, by believing in yourself, by making sure that you know exactly who to let in and who not to let in, how to set these boundaries properly, as well as how to communicate with yourself in these boundaries properly, to make sure that you are building a liberated you and not a submissive you. And your third house is Pisces. Now, here's the thing. Your magic might be getting boring. Your psychic activity might be feeling like it's slowing down or just plateaued. And that's because you've just had like like half the freaking planets just go through your magic and now they're out. You've had Mercury run through here. Jupiter just left here. You have Venus that ran through here. And the only thing that's really still here, outside of Neptune, who's been here for many, many years, is Mars. And Mars is, fire and water. It's a warrior sitting in a press meeting. It can't really do anything. Its passion, action, aggression is just kind of boiled down. But on the 24th, so you may feel like you're at a plateau, just because Mars doesn't have a whole lot of energy here in your communication house. This is your communication with the outer world, feeling zapped about how you're communicating. Maybe you're too exhausted to really hear what's being said to you. Are you catching, what's being said in the voicemails and your text messages? Are you keeping up? Because this may be a little bit of a boring, sloppy feeling. Now that everybody's gone but Mars, and Mars is not very powerful. But Mars moves out on the 24th. And he moves in to your fourth house, where Pluto is. Not Pluto, where Jupiter is. Now, this is going to bring an extra oomph to your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, to overcoming any insecurities that you have, because it's your inner emotional security. It is the home. It's going to bring fire and passion and action and abundance and knowledge and spark and fire back into you. Make you feel revived, but not until around the 24th. When, like I said, you've got Jupiter already in here. But with the eclipse energy, with the Mercury retrograde, with Jupiter just bringing abundance and knowledge, but Aries is kind of like, okay, so I got this great idea. I want to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. And before you know it, we're like 7 things down, and you done forgot about the first 3 things. So it's not good at following through with things. But when Mars gets in on the 24th, around this time, he's going to be like, all right, Jupiter, I know you've been assessing the situation, and that's that buildup from all of this energy just feeling like static electricity, but it's not flowing, it's not moving. It's just zip, 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 but not moving. And that's where I'm trying to get at, is when Mars comes into its ruling house in Aries around the 24th, it's going to be like, boom, like you lit up. And your self-realization, your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem, overcoming insecurity, trusting in yourself, bringing yourself back into your fire, getting to the security of who and what you are will be illuminating. Unless you're in denial. If you're in denial, it may smack you really hard with something not necessarily bad, but something just enough to go, I'm putting you back on track right here and right now. between Jupiter and Mars. Now, what is left? I think that was it. Yep, that was pretty much it. So I feel like it's a good thing for you guys. Just take some time, give yourself some love. Know that you're back building your fire, back building your illumination. You're back building you, your essence, your strength. Give you some time. If you don't have time for a personal vacation, then, make yourself mini moments. If it's baths, Zen moments. Give yourself some inner fun and inner child, because you need it. You need to back build. But I feel you're going to be coming very much stronger into yourself and into your security. Feeling good and better about it, revived and healthy. Closer to the end of the month. There's a lot of stagnant energy that you're still working through before it's going to flow. I love you. Bye.